Deep in the outer reaches of the galaxy, the Draconian fleet moved like a dark shadow against the stars. Their massive warships glided silently through the void, patrolling the borders of known space. For centuries, they had maintained control over these regions, hunting rebel factions, alien scavengers, and any species daring to explore the edge of the galaxy. The Draconians were proud, ruthless, and confident in their power. Nothing had ever challenged them until now. Suddenly, without warning, the communication systems aboard the flagship began to flicker. Lights blinked erratically across the command panels. The hum of the energy cores seemed to shiver. Officers called out, confusion and tension building. Comms? Dropping, one shouted. Repeating, all units respond. But no answer came out at first. The fleet assumed it was a malfunction, a simple glitch in their advanced systems. But as moments passed, the truth became terrifyingly clear. Every ship in the patrol had gone dark. No distress call, no explosion, no sign of life. Just absolute, haunting silence. The Draconian leaders were furious. Counselor Threx slammed his clawed hand onto the command table, sending sparks flying. Impossible, he growled. A fleet of this size cannot vanish without trace. I want answers now. His voice echoed through the bridge, filled with a mix of fear and rage. Officers scrambled to trace the fleet's last known coordinates. But the sensors only returned one haunting answer. Nothing. The void swallowed them. Panic spread through nearby alien fleets that had been observing the Draconians from a distance. Whispers of the fleet's disappearance moved like fire across the communications networks. They are gone, vanished, one commander whispered to another. Another voice cut in, trembling. It's not possible. Draconians don't vanish. But the reality stared them all in the face. The Draconian fleet was gone. Meanwhile, far across the galaxy, Earth's deep space observatories detected something unusual. Hidden sensors buried on moons and orbiting satellites began to pick up faint, strange energy signatures. The signals were unlike anything humanity had ever recorded. They pulsed rhythmically, almost like a heartbeat, and seemed to originate from the last known location of the Draconian fleet. Scientists scrambled to analyze the data. Dr. Elena Morris, one of Earth's leading astrophysicists, stared at the holographic screens displaying the readings. This isn't natural, she murmured, voice trembling. The energy is alive, in a way, almost as if something is awakening. Her colleague, Dr. Raj Patel, frowned. But what? The fleet? Or something else? For decades, humanity had speculated about the Draconians and their vast fleets. They were a dominant force in the galaxy, feared by countless civilizations. But no one had ever imagined they could simply disappear. Now, with the strange energy signatures pointing directly toward Earth, the scientists began to suspect that the disappearance was linked to something much older, something hidden beneath the surface of their own planet. Signals continued to flicker across the deep space networks. Unlike typical transmissions, these pulses carried patterns, mathematical sequences too precise to be random. Dr. Morris adjusted the sensors to focus on Earth's vicinity. Look at this, she whispered, pointing to a strange spike in the readings. It's almost like a message from the past. The idea sent shivers down their spines. Could Earth itself be hiding a secret so powerful that it caused an entire fleet to vanish? Had ancient humans built something that even the mighty Draconians could not challenge? The thought was both thrilling and terrifying as night fell on Earth. In a remote observatory atop a high mountain, a lone scout ship, human-made but ancient in design, picked up a faint signal. Its sensors, far more sensitive than anything the Draconians possessed, shivered with activity. Captain Anya Torres leaned forward, eyes fixed on the display. I don't believe this, she said, voice barely audible. "It's moving. Something is waking near Earth." The scouts' instruments confirmed it. Whatever had caused the Draconian fleet to vanish was now stirring. And it was close. Back in the void, alien observers tried to make sense of the events. Messages poured across the galaxy. Fleets gone, signals strange, energy sources unknown. Fear replaced curiosity. For the first time, civilizations that had dismissed Earth as primitive began to wonder. What had humans been hiding all along? And what would happen if whatever lay dormant finally awakened? The Draconians, once proud and unstoppable, were now shadows in the void. Their absence sent ripples across the galaxy, touching every planet and star system. And on Earth, humans stared into the depths of space, unaware that the first threads of a larger, darker past were beginning to unravel. In the observatory, Captain Torres tightened her grip on the console. The sensors screamed in high-pitched tones, lights flashing like alarms. "Prepare for contact," she whispered. "Something is coming, something ancient, something that will change everything we know about the galaxy and about Earth itself." The void was silent once more. But deep in the darkness, a presence had begun to stir, and the first signs of Earth's forbidden past were emerging, ready to reclaim its place in the stars. Earth was quiet, or at least it seemed so. Cities glimmered with lights, people moved through their lives, and oceans lapped against distant shores. But deep underground, in secret facilities built long ago, something was stirring. Scientists and military officials had begun to investigate the strange energy signals detected near the vanished Draconian fleet. What they discovered would shake the very foundations of human history. Dr. Elena Morris and her team worked tirelessly, analyzing transmissions intercepted from deep space. The signals were complicated, almost like a puzzle designed to be impossible to solve. They weren't just energy readings, they were messages, coded in sequences humans had never encountered before. Each pulse of light, each spike in the signal, seemed to carry information. It hinted at locations, artifacts, and technology that had long been forgotten. This isn't just a warning," Dr. Morris said quietly to Dr. Raj Patel, her voice trembling. "It's a map to something hidden, something Earth has been keeping secret for centuries." Raj stared at the glowing holographic projections. In front of him, thousands of tiny symbols, strange and alien, rotated in the air. "Are you saying humans already knew about this?" he asked, disbelief in his voice. Helena shook her head. "Not all humans. Just the ones from long ago. Civilizations that existed before recorded history. Whatever this is, it's old. Extremely old." Meanwhile, above Earth, satellites monitored the Draconian fleet's disappearance. Governments and agencies scrambled to cross-check historical archives, searching for any mention of alien contact. That's when they stumbled upon something remarkable: fragments of old Draconian logs, recovered from abandoned satellites and derelict ships drifting near the outer rim. The logs told a story no one expected. They described Earth not as a primitive planet, but as a place of incredible hidden power. Ancient humans had once developed technology so advanced that it rivaled even the Draconians' fleet. It was so powerful that the aliens feared it enough to classify it as forbidden in their records. The Draconians had visited Earth long ago, searching for this hidden technology, but found only fragments. They underestimated humanity and left, believing Earth was insignificant. But the logs suggested that something, perhaps a secret weapon or a hidden fleet, remained. Something that could awaken after centuries of dormancy. Dr. Morris studied the holographic images carefully. She traced the signals to locations deep beneath the Earth's surface: deserts, mountains, remote islands. Each site held artifacts, hidden machinery, or underground facilities designed to protect humanity's most dangerous secrets. What if the Draconian fleet disappeared because they found one of these sites?" asked Raj. Elena's eyes widened. Or what if it wasn't them? What if something else was protecting it? Something old and alive? The thought sent chills down their spines. Humans had always believed Earth was alone, primitive, and powerless in the vast galaxy. Now, evidence suggested that the planet held a force so strong that it could make an entire alien fleet vanish without a trace dot in a distant command room. A team of cryptographers worked to decode the patterns further. Their fingers flew across holographic keyboards, arranging the sequences like pieces of a puzzle. Slowly, a message emerged. "Do not awaken what lies beneath. Only the worthy shall control it. Beware the watchers." The scientists exchanged uneasy glances. Who were the watchers? And why had they left such a warning? While Earth's leaders debated, a hidden facility beneath the Himalayas hummed to life. Ancient power cores, long dormant, began glowing with soft blue light. Systems that had been silent for centuries awakened as if responding to the signals from space. Dr. Morris watched in awe. "It's reacting to the fleet. Or maybe to the energy they left behind," she said. "Something out there triggered this, something that should have stayed asleep." Across the planet, similar phenomena occurred. In deserts, icy plains, and uninhabited islands, hidden artifacts and machines flickered to life. It was as if Earth itself was awakening. And then the first proof of their suspicion arrived. From a high-orbit satellite, a lone human scout ship reported unusual activity near one of the secret sites. The readings were overwhelming energy levels, far beyond anything modern humans could produce. Captain Anya Torres, still aboard the scout. Deep beneath the Himalayas, hidden under layers of rock and ice, a facility long forgotten stirred to life. Its walls, carved from stone and reinforced with metal alloys unknown to modern humans, began to hum with energy. Ancient machines dormant for thousands of years flickered with soft blue light. It was as if the facility itself had been waiting for the signals from space, waiting for the energy left behind by the vanished Draconian fleet. Inside, Dr. Elena Morris and her team descended into the facility, their footsteps echoing against metal floors older than history itself. Captain Anya Torres guided the team through narrow tunnels, her handheld scanner trembling in her grip as it picked up immense energy readings. "Look at this," Elena whispered, pointing to walls etched with symbols that glowed faintly in the dark. The inscriptions were unlike any language known today. They twisted and curved like living lines, as though they were trying to communicate directly with the mind. Raj Patel stepped closer, scanning the symbols. "These aren't just words. They're instructions. Instructions for a machine, for something that could move, fight, even think." Suddenly, the ground trembled. The hum of the facility intensified, growing louder, almost like a heartbeat. Lights along the corridors flickered rapidly. The team froze. This was no ordinary power surge. Whatever lay inside was responding alive, aware, and waiting. The deeper they ventured, the more complex the machines became. Massive conduits ran along the walls, glowing with energy pulses. Central chambers held enormous devices covered in dust, yet they radiated latent power. Elena's breath caught in her throat. These are weapons," she whispered. "Weapons older than any civilization we know. Weapons that could destroy fleets, entire planets." Captain Torres tightened her grip on her sidearm, though she knew it was almost useless against the force in the room. "We need to know what triggered it," she said, scanning the facility. As sensors indicated that the energy spikes from the vanished Draconian fleet had somehow activated the systems here. Suddenly, a door slid open, revealing a massive chamber at the heart of the facility. At its center, a spherical machine hovered slightly above the ground. It glowed with a pale blue light, and emitted rhythmic pulses. Every pulse seemed to vibrate through the air, resonating with a frequency that made the hair on the team's arms stand on end. "This is the core," Helena said, awestruck. "Whatever the Draconians feared, it's here." Raj stepped forward cautiously. But why did it remain hidden? Why didn't humans discover it sooner? Elena shook her head. Because it was designed to remain dormant until the right conditions were met, until a threat approached Earth. Captain Torres' scanner beeped violently. "Incoming energy readings," she warned. "Multiple signatures. Approaching the facility from above." Outside, the first signs of the returning Draconian fleet appeared in orbit. Though unaware of what lay beneath, they scanned Earth's surface, searching for any sign of power. Their sensors detected the hidden facility, but not its full potential. What they didn't know was that every pulse of energy from the core was already interacting with the planet's defenses, preparing to strike if needed. Inside the chamber, the team approached the core cautiously. Elena noticed strange interfaces along its surface. They were covered in symbols that matched the walls. As she touched one, the light expanded, forming holographic projections above the sphere. The projections showed star maps, coordinates, and fleet's ancient battles recorded in astonishing detail. These are the Draconian campaigns," Helena said. "Every fleet, every ship they lost. And here, Earth's hand is in all of it." A sudden vibration ran through the chamber. The machines began to move, as if acknowledging their presence. Lights traveled along the walls in cascading patterns. The pulses became faster, stronger, resonating in unison with the energy readings outside. The facility was alive, responding not just to Earth, but to the galaxy itself. Captain Torres stepped back, watching as the chamber seemed to awaken fully. "We've just triggered something enormous," she said quietly. "I don't know if we're ready for this." Elena activated a small control panel, hoping to understand the machine's purpose. Symbols shifted rapidly, forming phrases the team could finally interpret. Defense, activation, protect, awaken only in the face of extinction. Elena read aloud. The truth hit them all. This facility, this hidden power, was not a weapon of aggression. It was a defense system. It had been built to protect Earth from threats too great to fight with ordinary technology threats like the Draconian fleet. Suddenly, alarms blared. Red lights flashed across the chamber. The energy spikes detected outside had intensified. The Draconian fleet, unknowingly, was drawing closer to its own destruction. And within the core of the facility, an unknown force began to stir. The team froze as the room vibrated violently. The spherical machine glowed brighter than ever, casting shadows that danced like living things across the walls. It emitted a low hum, building into a roar that shook the tunnels. Whatever lay within the facility was awakening fully. Elena looked at Captain Torres. "We need to control it. Guide it before it reacts on its own." Torres nodded. "Then let's find out what it wants. Let's see why the Draconians vanished, and why Earth's past has been hidden for so long." The chamber pulsed again. Symbols rotated, energy surged, and the team realized a terrifying truth. This was only the beginning. Whatever had destroyed the Draconian fleet before was still alive, still waiting. And now, humanity had awoken it. Above them, the fleet hovered, unaware of the power beneath their feet. And below, Earth's forbidden legacy stirred, ready to defend its people and reclaim its place in the galaxy. Part 4. The fleet returns high above Earth. The void of space shimmered with stars, but the calm was about to end. The Draconian fleet had returned. Thousands of massive warships emerged from hyperspace, their hulls bristling with weapons that could obliterate planets. Each vessel carried thousands of soldiers, prepared to conquer Earth for the first time. They had returned, furious and determined, unaware of the ancient power awakening below. The alien commanders scanned the planet's surface, seeking any sign of resistance. Nothing but a primitive world. Counselor Threx barked, his claws tapping on the control table. This planet holds no threat. Fire at will if necessary. Sweep for hidden bases, but I doubt you will find anything. But as the fleet hovered over the continents, their sensors began to glitch. Strange energy. Readings appeared spikes and pulses that should not exist. The Draconians tried to recalibrate, but every attempt failed. Their ships shuddered as if the space around Earth had changed. Far below, in the hidden facility, the core pulsed brighter than ever. The machines hummed and shifted, responding to the alien presence. Captain Anya Torres and Dr. Elena Morris stood at the control interface, watching the holographic displays. "It's reacting," Elena whispered. "It knows they're here." The core projected streams of energy toward the planet's surface. Massive force fields shimmered invisibly around strategic locations. Deserts, mountain ranges, oceans. Hidden weapon systems, some small and precise, others enormous, began to activate. These were not weapons built for attack, they were built for defense. And now, the ancient machines were ready. Outside, the Draconian fleet noticed sudden changes. Several warships lost power for a moment, their systems shutting down as if being drained. Others were thrown off course by invisible forces. Panic began to ripple through the alien armada. Counselor Threx's voice rang with rage and disbelief. "What is this sorcery? Sensors show nothing, but our ships are failing." Captain Torres watched the displays closely. The facility is controlling the environment. It's shielding Earth and targeting the fleet indirectly. We're not fighting yet, but we will make them regret underestimating us. The first contact occurred near the equator. A Draconian cruiser moved too close to a mountain range. In a sudden pulse of energy, it was lifted and tossed aside like a toy. Crew alarms blared as systems failed. Within minutes, 2 more cruisers were immobilized. The fleet tried to regroup, firing weapons, but none of their attacks could penetrate. The invisible shields. Elena's voice trembled with awe. These systems? They were built to protect Earth from fleets 10 times stronger than this. The Draconians were always at risk, even centuries ago. They just didn't know it. Torres activated the scout ship's long-range scanner. Energy signatures are spreading fast. Whatever lies in this facility, it's not limited to one location. It's global. Meanwhile, in orbit, panic had reached the top of the Draconian. Command chain. Reports flooded in. Warships failing, fleets scattered, weapons misfiring. Retreat. One commander shouted, but Threx refused. No, push forward. Find the source of this interference. The humans below watched as the fleet advanced, their confidence shattered. For the first time, they realized Earth was not a weak planet. The ancient weapons, now awake, were systematically neutralizing the alien ships. Some vessels disappeared in sudden flashes of light, as if consumed by energy storms generated from the hidden facility. Others were hurled into orbit, damaged. Beyond repair, Doctor, Morris stared at the holographic projection, showing the destroyed ships. It's like they never stood a chance. Every pulse, every activation, it's precise, intelligent. The facility knows what it's doing. Captain. Torres nodded. It's more than just a machine. It's The Draconian fleet had retreated, battered and broken, yet not defeated. Above Earth, the alien warships hovered, regrouping and scanning desperately for weaknesses. They had underestimated the planet, dismissed its power, and now they were paying the price. But the Draconians were proud and ruthless. Retreat was not defeat. It was a pause before the storm dot inside the hidden facility. Captain Anya Torres and Dr. Elena Morris studied the core and its controls. Every display, every pulse, revealed the vast scope of Earth's power. Ancient weapons, once dormant for centuries, now responded to the threat above. They were precise, intelligent, and designed to protect humanity from fleets far stronger than the Draconians. Helena's fingers danced across the control panel, activating targeting sequences and protective shields. "We can strike," she said, her voice steady but filled with awe. "We can defend ourselves and more. We can show them what Earth has been hiding all this time." Torres nodded, her eyes scanning the view screens. "Then let's make it count. The fleet thinks they've seen Earth's limits. They haven't even seen the beginning." From orbit, the first human-made weapons deployed. Massive pulses of energy erupted from hidden launch points across the planet. Entire squadrons of Draconian fighters were engulfed in blinding light. Ships spun out of control, hulls failing, systems shutting down. The alien commanders scrambled, trying to retaliate, but every attack was countered by the ancient defenses now fully operational. Elena observed the display, her breath catching. It's like the facility knows exactly what to do. Every strike, every defense, it's perfectly coordinated. Raj Patel stepped closer, his eyes wide. It's more than coordination. It's intelligence, almost alive. Earth itself is fighting back. The Draconians realized the horrifying truth too late. Their weapons, designed to obliterate worlds, were useless against the planet they had dismissed. Fleets that once ruled. Star systems now fell one by one, destroyed by unseen forces that seemed to anticipate every move. Captain Torres activated the scout ship's long-range scanner. "The fleet is splitting," she reported. "Some are trying to flee, but many are being drawn into traps. The planet is directing them." The facility responded with precision. Hidden launch sites along mountains, oceans, and deserts fired energy beams and projectiles that immobilized ships without destroying them. Others were redirected into orbit where powerful energy pulses shattered their hulls. Every attack seemed almost surgical, leaving minimal collateral damage on Earth's surface. Above the planet, panic spread through the Draconian ranks. Counselor Threx's voice was filled with rage. "How can this be? We've faced thousands of civilizations. None of them could resist us. Why? Why is this planet different?" Unknown to the Draconians, Earth was not only defending itself, it was striking back. Ancient fleets, hidden beneath the surface and disguised for centuries, emerged. Massive warships, designed with technology far beyond modern understanding, moved into orbit in perfect synchronization with the facility. Each vessel joined the assault, targeting alien ships with unmatched precision. Alana's fingers flew across the console. "They're awakening the ancient fleet. Look at the readings," she exclaimed. On the screens, massive human design. Warships, long thought to be myth, moved as one. Their energy cores glowed, weapons charged, ready to confront the alien invaders directly. Torres' voice was calm but fierce. "This is humanity's response. They wiped out colonies before, underestimated us before. Now they'll see the cost of underestimating a planet that has survived for millennia." The battle escalated. The ancient fleet struck with unmatched force, destroying the Draconian command vessels. Fighters were pulled from formations, capital ships torn apart, entire squads consumed by concentrated energy attacks. The Draconians' arrogance turned to terror. Elena whispered, almost to herself. They thought humans were weak, primitive, harmless. They were wrong. They've always been wrong. On Earth, across continents, hidden facilities pulsed with energy, connecting through an unseen network. The planet itself seemed to hum with life. Every strike, every pulse, every activation of ancient technology worked in perfect harmony. Humans were not just defending, they were reclaiming the galaxy's respect. Above the chaos, Captain Torres watched as the Draconian fleet faltered. "They can't regroup," she said. "Their leadership is gone. Their fleet is breaking apart. This is our chance to end it." Raj turned to Elena, eyes wide with realization. "And after this, the galaxy will never underestimate Earth." Again, the facility pulsed one final time, sending a massive energy wave into orbit. The remaining Draconian warships were scattered, some fleeing into hyperspace, others destroyed entirely. Earth's hidden fleet remained in formation, ready to strike again if necessary. Silence fell over the battlefield. The Draconians had been humbled. The once mighty fleet that had terrorized star systems now faced a planet that could defend itself against the impossible. Humanity had revealed its hidden strength, and the galaxy would remember this day for centuries. Elena and Torres stood together, staring at the core. The ancient technology had performed beyond expectation. "This is only the beginning," Elena said. "The Draconians may have been stopped, but there are others, and they will come." Torres nodded, determination in her eyes. "Then we'll be ready. Humanity is awake now, and nothing in the galaxy will underestimate us again." The hidden facility pulsed quietly once more, almost as if acknowledging its success. The battle had been won, but the war for the galaxy was just beginning. Earth's dark past had awakened, and the consequences would ripple across the stars. Draconian fleet had been defeated, scattered, and humbled. Above Earth, the remnants of the alien warships floated like broken statues, powerless and terrified. Yet even in victory, humanity could feel that this was not the end. Something deeper was stirring, something ancient, hidden long before the Draconians ever ruled the stars. Deep inside the hidden facility, the core pulsed steadily, radiating energy that flowed through the planet like veins of light. Captain Anya Torres and Dr. Elena Morris stood in awe, surrounded by machines older than human memory, their intricate designs glowing with a life of their own. "We've won the battle," Torres said quietly, "but I can feel it. Something else is coming, something tied to this place, to Earth itself." Elena nodded, tracing her fingers across a glowing panel. "The signals we intercepted, the Draconian logs, the energy readings, they were all pointing here. The facility, it's not just a weapon or a defense system. It's a record, a history of humanity that was hidden for millennia." Raj Patel stepped forward, eyes wide. "A history? What do you mean?" Elena activated a series of holographic projections. Stars, planets, and fleets appeared in the air above the core, linked with glowing lines. "Look at this," she said. "These are not just battles. These are records of humanity's past. Our ancestors, they weren't primitive. They ruled stars long before we had cities, before we even had the wheel. Earth's civilizations were powerful, advanced, and dangerous." Torres leaned in, studying the projections. "So the Draconians didn't just vanish because of us now. They vanished because of humanity's past. They feared what we once were." Elena nodded grimly. "Exactly. Earth has always been underestimated. Every species that challenged us before disappeared. The Draconians were just next in line to learn that lesson." Suddenly, the core pulsed violently, projecting a massive holographic figure, a map of ancient Earth civilizations spanning the galaxy. Rage gasped. These are entire colonies. Ships, planets, weapons. This isn't just history. It's proof that humans once had the power to dominate entire star systems." Torres clenched her fists. "And now that power is awakening again." Outside, scattered Draconian warships attempted to retreat into hyperspace, but the facilities' reach extended far beyond Earth's surface. Energy pulses immobilized them, holding them in place, showing that Earth was no longer a simple planet. It had become a force, a guardian of its own destiny. Elena's eyes scanned the projections, and her voice dropped. But there's more. Something even older. The core is showing artifacts, machines, and fleets that predate any known civilization. Earth has harbored these for eons. The Draconians weren't the first to fear us, and they won't be the last. The room trembled as the core emitted a low, resonant hum. Symbols shifted and rotated across the walls, forming a single chilling phrase. Earth remembers. Earth defends. Earth commands. Torres stepped back, awe mixed with fear. It's alive, in a way. Not just a machine. This facility. It's a part of Earth itself. At that moment, an alien scout appeared in orbit, its sensors picking up the vast energy fields emanating from the facility. Its captain, trembling, transmitted a message back to the remnants of the fleet. This planet is alive. It is. Not what it seems. Retreat. Do not engage. Even the surviving Draconian commanders now understood the terrifying truth. They had underestimated Earth for the last time. The humans they had laughed at, called primitive, and ignored were no longer. Defenseless. They had awakened a power older than any fleet, any warship, any weapon the galaxy had ever seen. Elena, Torres, and Raj stood in silence, watching as energy streams from the facility reached out across the planet. Ancient ships began to rise, from hidden chambers beneath the oceans and mountains, joining the fleet above. These were vessels from humanity's forgotten,